I queried probably over 100 agents and got over 100 no's. And one day I just opened up my email and there was an email from her that she was interested. She had seen my content online. I had a million years ago wrote a little parenting ebook and she liked it. And so we started talking. And so whenever anyone that I've talked to, is struggling, trying to find a lit agent and it's, just kind of not happening, not connecting, if that's what they're looking to do. I mean, really, I got for real 100 no's before I got a yes.
Welcome to GNP, the Great, Glorious, and Glamorous, aka the Going North Podcast. I'm your host, best-selling author, and certified self-leadership trainer with the John Maxwell team, Dom Brightman. And this is the podcast where authors from around the world help you realize that success is tangible. Now let's get on with the show. Today's episode is sponsored by the GoingNorthPodcast.com shop. And if you head over to the wonderful website, cop some merchandise, take a selfie with you rocking the gear, shoot it to yours truly, the host, Dom Brightman at gmail.com, and I will give you a shout out on the show as well, and heck, even tag you on social media as well. So feel free to check out some of the good old merch on GoingNorthPodcastShop.com. Now let's get on with some super special, awesome content. And today on the highlight reel builder for authors known as GNP, the Great, Glorious, and Glamorous, is the Going North Podcast. And we got another super special, awesome human that could probably fit all three of those G's and more indeed. That's right indeed, because the site you know and love, or love and hate if you, depending on what the heck is going on or where you are listening to this episode, podmatch.com is responsible again, baby. That's right indeed, where podcast guests get to link up with podcast hosts, and if they're super special awesome, they're in. And today's guest is one of those super special awesome humans, because not only is she a fellow millennial, she's a mother, y'all. That's right indeed, a mom. That's right indeed. That's right indeed, the highest profession on freaking earth indeed, as well as a wife and a stay-at-home comedian. So you heard that right, folks. So 2020 elements are still ahoy with this style of comedy, baby. So let's give it up for the fabulous, kind, and beautiful Kelly Bandas. How you doing today, Kelly?
Dom, I'm so good. Better now that I'm talking with you. Very excited to be here.
Oh, yeah, that's right indeed. Excited to have you here. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. Yeah, anyone who gives gerbils halos is a good person.
Great. I'm glad I'm getting some accolades for that.
That's right indeed. That's right indeed. The gerbil finally made it off a hamster wheel. That's right indeed. The confusion's over. It earned its halo.
It did, and I'm about to give another one its halo because my middle son has a hamster that likes to go running on its wheel at midnight. So I don't know if it's long for this world. It is driving us all crazy, but very cute. So maybe we'll let her stay.
There we go. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. Let the patient's well be filled again. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. Well, my goodness, ain't just about water. It's about the special K yourself. So mind filling us in on any cavities I may have missed about you and how you got to where you are today since it's your first time ever on the podcast.
Yeah. Man, I have been doing internet sketch comedy now for about 5 or 6 years. Before that, I was a speech pathologist / mom / wife, kind of wearing all the hats, working primarily with kids with disabilities. And while we were waiting for my youngest son to come home, he was adopted from the Philippines, I took a leave of absence from work and sort of just to not go crazy, tried my hand at writing some sketch comedy. And I just really found that it filled me up in a way that I hadn't been filled up in a long time. And it has just kind of taken off for me. I put out work mostly on Instagram and TikTok. I know as millennials, we hate TikTok, but I have found my way over there. But yeah, it's really fun, and have built some really great community, met some really amazing people, and I just really enjoy doing it. I do a lot of character work, a lot of improv, a lot of sketch, and yeah, it's been a real joy to get to transition that into my full time career.
Ah, yeah, that's what I'm talking about indeed. So, did you always love the limelight growing up?
That's such an interesting question. I did when I was a kid, and then as I kind of grew into myself a little bit, I think I stopped liking it. I think I thought I was supposed to stop liking it because I know you grew up in the church too, John. Like you sort of get told that you're not supposed to take up a lot of space, a lot of room, especially as a woman. And so I think I kind of shut that part of myself down a little bit, and didn't think it was as important. But now, as I'm getting older, I'm almost 40 now, and I realize that performing is something that makes me happy. And if God created me, He wants good things for those who love Him. So I'm going to let that part of myself shine again.
Sweet. That's what I'm talking about. Letting that light shine indeed. That's right. Keeping it shiny. That's right indeed. Shinier than three flashlights, baby. You'll love to see it. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. So my goodness, so I guess dropping Catholic guilt and then becoming a mother and heck even finding your love of wonderful comedy to lighten up the mood and really boost up your wonderful influence in the world. So my goodness, so as a content creator, what keeps you creative? Is it just the mom life itself, or is there other influences we don't know about yet?
Oh man, I mean, as a content creator, I feel like your whole life is fodder. It's everything. It's from annoying doctor's office call reminders to, I don't know, burning dinner. It's just literally everything. I keep a note, notes app in your phone. Just anytime inspiration strikes, just make sure I jot something down. Surely motherhood is rife with ideas. I do impressions of my kids, everyone's kids, really. So I, pull a lot of experience from real life there. But yeah, I mean, the world we live in is so upside down. It's often like I'm just living in a comedy sketch anyway. So it's pretty easy to come up with ideas. I think the struggle is finding time to turn them into videos, and it's just about balance and trying to carve out that time to make sure that I can do that thing that brings me joy. But yeah, the ideas are, I'm not never short on ideas, that's for sure.
Sweet. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. Because it's a hard job indeed, a hard duty. That's right indeed. Taking care of kids. That's right indeed. And then finding that resilience and being able to turn lemons into lemonade 24/7, sometimes 25/6.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right indeed. That's right indeed. So, my goodness, what would you consider your big two takeaways from being a mom thus far, especially being a millennial mom indeed, being a fellow millennial dealing with all the stuff that the millennials get?
Yeah, oh my gosh, my top two takeaways are never say never. Never say, oh, I would never do that, or I would never think this, because your kids are continually growing and you're continually growing as a parent. So just keep an open mind. And the other thing is make sure that your kids see you happy. Make sure they see you doing something that fills you up and brings you joy besides being a mom. Of course, being their mom is going to make you happy, but set an example for your kids that they can find their worth in whatever place that suits them. So I think those would be my two takeaways.
Sweet. That's what I'm talking about indeed. That's right indeed, because kids enjoy the happy. That's right. They're in a precious time of their lives, especially in that wonderful innocence phase before the teenage years hit, and then even then,
That's
stuff
right.
happens.
Yeah, talk to me in a few years when I have teenagers. I may have different advice to give you.
That's right indeed, especially when you become a 4-year-old parenting over 16-year-olds, right?
Oh yeah, that's when it gets real.
That's right indeed, where the grit really gets developed. That's right indeed. So my goodness, you got this fabulous book out, Rookie Mistakes, the Grown Ups Field Guide to Getting Your Act Together. So my goodness, what led you to finally decide to join the business of immortality by publishing a book?
I mean, this was like my life goal, Dom. I've wanted to write a book since I could hold a pen. So to say this has been in the works for a long time is not an understatement. I think what finally pushed me over the edge to start doing it in a professional capacity was about 4 years ago. I was approached by an agent, a literary agent, and she kind of held my hand through the process of the book proposal and shopping it around to different publishers, shopping the idea rather around to different publishers. And that sort of pushed it over the finish line. But I have always wanted to write a book. So really, literally a dream come true for me to get to do this. And I hope there are many more forthcoming. But yeah, it's been such a exciting process, a nerve-wracking process, a really vulnerable process. I mean, I'm not telling you anything you don't know, but I'm really thrilled to have been given this opportunity and just really excited that people are enjoying it.
Heck yeah, indeed. That's right, indeed. Because it's freaking huge because your book is actually published through Thomas Nelson, no less. That's freaking huge.
Yes. Yeah, thank you. I know I did not think this would ever happen for me. So to be on the other side of it is kind of crazy.
So there you go, folks. That's right. The Holy Bible and the Banda Shawl. That's right, indeed. Both through the same publisher, baby. That's right, indeed.
I'm in good company.
That's right, indeed. That's right, indeed. Sorry, pull out your pens, y'all. That's right, indeed. Pull out your crosses. That's right, indeed. So, my goodness, the literary agent, like, was that a contact through your husband with him being a musician, or did she just love your content so much? She's like, hey, come on, write a book already.
I mean, the honest truth is I queried probably over 100 agents and got over 100 no's. And one day I just opened up my email and there was an email from her that she was interested. She had seen my content online. I had a million years ago wrote a little parenting ebook and she liked it. And so we started talking. And so whenever anyone that I've talked to, is struggling, trying to find a lit agent and it's, just kind of not happening, not connecting, if that's what they're looking to do. I mean, really, I got for real 100 no's before I got a yes. It just takes one, right?
Yeah, if I could say that again, indeed. Cause yeah, like agents can be busy, and like, hey, not all of them are created equal. Some may have better contacts than others. Some may have a higher level of persistence than others.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right, indeed. That's right, indeed. So my goodness, rookie mistakes, all the freaking stories and the wonderful, magical humor. So my goodness, this was probably the hardest part about putting the book together because I'm pretty sure there's a ton of stories that didn't make the final cut.
Yeah, that's true. There were. The hardest part about, I mean, really, to be honest with you, the hardest part about it was sharing stories that aren't 100% mine to tell. Obviously, all of these things have happened to me, but there's other players in them. There's my kids, there's my family, there's my friends. And so deciding how much I wanted to share and respecting their privacy, that was really tricky for me, but because it's, autobiographical kind of memoir style. So yeah, that was the hardest part. I think that anything that got cut from the book, I was able to say goodbye to without too much upset because maybe it'll be in the next one. Maybe we can rework it for something else. Maybe I can use it for a comedy sketch. It didn't feel like saying goodbye forever, just goodbye for now.
You love to see it, indeed. You love to see it, indeed. That's right. So I guess it's on to the next book. I'm assuming any idea what to expect for folks listening who may be wanting to buy this and what to expect from the following book.
Oh man, no, I'm taking a long break before I start the writing process again. But this one is out. It just came out in July. So I'm just gonna ride this high for a while and then, maybe start working on something next year. But for now, I'm just basking in the glory of releasing releasing this one book.
I feel you. I feel it definitely. It's like, oh God, the book's finally done. I'll tap out a quick, and then out of nowhere, books come around. You be like, hey, buddy, gotta market this darn thing. What you doing? I'm trying to sleep.
Yeah, I gotta hibernate for a little bit. Let the tanks fill back up.
Nah, we don't do tanks here. Hibernate means market. Get out there, dang it. We gotta trot you around. The inner self is saying, get out there already. Oh, man. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. You love to see it, y'all. That's right indeed. Bunch of content out there pushing eventually got an agent to say yes, and yes, led to one of the biggest publishers on earth putting a story out there for the world to devour. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. And you're reading the book no less, so double gold stars for you.
I'll take all the gold stars.
Oh, yeah, that's right indeed. And they'll all go on the forehead like good old Sunday school classes. That's right.
Right.
So, my goodness, so since this is far from your first rodeo on the guest side of the game on these podcasts, is there a question that you wish you be asked more often?
Oh, that's an interesting question in and of itself. A question that I wish I got asked more often. Well, one of the ones that I love that you already asked is just advice for other authors. I think I come on a lot, and I know that people who listen to podcasts that authors are on are often authors themselves, maybe trying to catch a break with an agent or a publisher. So I love the question that you asked about, what led to me writing the book and how did I connect with an agent, because that's the practical advice that people need.
Uh, just indeed, say that again, indeed. That's right, indeed. It's so darn true, because not everybody wants to go the self-publishing route, because even though it's a lot of work either way at the same
Oh yeah. No matter what you decide, it's a ton of work.
time. That's right, indeed. That's right, indeed. They're selling a bill of goods out here. Don't be one of them. Don't be a victim. Don't be on either side. Avoid both. Do the work. That's right, indeed. In this planet of Earth, you're either the bagel itself or the cream cheese. That's right, indeed. Be the spreader. Spread the cream cheese.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You said it.
Oh, God. So, my goodness. So, speaking of books, the Rookie Mistakes book, if it was a food, what would it be and why?
I think if it was a food, it would be a charcuterie plate because it's got a lot of variety. It's got some sweet stories, some salty stories, some harder to swallow stories, maybe. I think there's just a variety and something for everyone. And it's good at parties. So we'll say charcuterie board.
Oh, yeah. That's right. So, you're basically saying that this book is Terry Crews in the White Chicks movie in the rave party. I got you.
You said that, not me.
Well, it's supposed to be good at parties, right? Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So, my goodness, so since the book is called Rookie Mistakes, fun question, loving to drop on fellow writers, especially since setbacks create success. So, my goodness, what would you consider your greatest setback that actually set you up for success?
Oh, that's such a good question. Greatest setback that set me up for success was probably quitting my initial my initial career. I went to school to be a journalist, a sports journalist, and I just gave that up and decided that I wanted to go work. And I talk about this in the book a little bit. I decided to want to go work at a preschool as an assistant teacher. And what that ended up leading me to is getting my degree in speech pathology. And my greatest success truly in life is being a mom. And my youngest son happens to be deaf. And so me quitting this career that I had gone to school for and worked for actually set me up to be better equipped to help my son. And I think at the time, my parents and those around me probably didn't understand why I was leaving a well-paved road or trail to go off and do something a little left of center. But looking back now, I wouldn't have changed anything.
Woohoo! Sweet, no nickelbacks indeed. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. Probably one of the most beautiful things ever. It's like, oh shoot, my son's deaf. Wait, I'm a speech pathologist. Hooray, go me.
Right, just having to work out pretty great.
Yes, indeed. It's like, hey, she realized she was a Swiss Army knife this whole time. All the usefulness.
That's exactly right. I like that. Human Swiss Army knife.
That's right, indeed. Knife for the bad pronunciation, right?
Right.
Oh man, but it ain't about knives and knives. It's about the fabulous Kelly and Deeds. My goodness, coming down to the magical question every guest gets to receive, and that is if you know wake up tomorrow and you're 25 again, but you're still in 2022. What advice would you give to yourself?
Oh, my advice to my 25-year-old self would be it just keeps getting better. Don't focus on the mistakes, focus on moving forward.
Sweet, right, indeed. Keep moving forward, Joe. That's right, indeed. And you too will get off the hamster wheel. That's right, indeed. That's right, indeed. From hamster wheel to halo, y'all, you can do it. That's right, indeed. That's right, indeed. So, my goodness, so for those who want all the halos while still being alive by following you and all the stuff that you do, if they want a chuckle or two or 20, what's the best way, folks, to keep in contact with you and your journey?
Yeah. The easiest way is to follow me on Instagram. I'm at Kelly_Bandis on Instagram and TikTok. And buy my book, Rookie Mistakes. You can get it anywhere you get your books, Amazon, Barnes and Noble, any of those great places.
Sweet. Well, there you have it, folks. Reach out to the KB yourself, baby. That's right. Get all the toys right there, indeed, on our IG page. That's right, indeed. Follow for the comedy and the TikToks as well. That's right, indeed. Slide into her DMs, be like, hey, you're freaking amazing. Loved your interview on Going North, or heck, even if you heard on other places before this one as well. Keep up what she's doing, indeed. And she even reads her audiobooks. So if you haven't got enough for her voice today, you can get the extended cut of the full unabridged audiobook as well. So we're going to put all the link to that in the show notes. So that way folks can do just that indeed. So any parting words before we close up shop, Kelly?
Oh man, Dom, thank you so much for having me on. It's been a pleasure talking to you, and I'm excited to connect with your audience. Like you said, slide into my DMs. I mean, don't be creepy in my DMs, but I love talking with people and connecting with people on Instagram, and anyone who's writing a book or get interested in comedy, let's chat.
How's it going, my friend? I'm so glad you made it to the end. That shows that you are an uncommon finisher, and I am so grateful for you sharing your ears, your attention, and your time to this wonderful podcast to do something that'll take yourself to the next level. And for everybody else involved in this wonderful program, share it with at least 3 people in your network so that way more folks can not only catch the fire that is on this podcast, but can also be inspired to be their best. Advance others to advance yourself.